Philippine National Police will arrest people who will violate the planned lockdown of Metro Manila. National Capital Region Police Office Chief Debold Sina says Friday, March 13, police cannot let violators go without punishment. But it is unclear how this will be enforced since as of Friday afternoon, Duterte has not released an executive order or a memorandum circular as basis for the lockdown. Interior and Local Government Secretary Eduardo Año says workers and businessmen from the provinces will be allowed to enter and leave Metro Manila. The workers will be exempt from the lockdown as long as they present identifying documents proving they need to work in the capital region. Año says screening will be done through checkpoints. Meantime, government agencies will continue to provide frontline services even if President Duterte suspended work in the executive branch in Metro Manila. Cabinet Secretary Carlo Nograles assures the public on Friday the transport and supply of basic necessities and essential goods into Metro Manila will continue despite the lockdown.
That the transport of goods to Metro Manila from the provinces and vice versa will remain subject to guidelines. Kaya po ulitin po namin, huwag po tayong mag-hoard ng pagkain at iba pang kagamitan. Di po tayo mauubusan. Tuloy-tuloy po ang supplies natin dito sa Metro Manila.
Meanwhile, the Quezon City government declares a state of calamity Friday, March 13, due to the continuing coronavirus outbreak. There are 6 confirmed coronavirus cases in the city as of posting. The state of calamity allows the city's 142 barangays to access the Quick Response Fund. The declaration came a day after President Rodrigo Duterte placed Metro Manila under lockdown or community quarantine. Outside Metro Manila, Davao City government is prohibiting residents from leaving its borders. All short-term visitors are also advised to leave the city immediately. Those planning to visit are requested to postpone their trip until the public health emergency is lifted. But Mayor Sara Duterte's government insists the city is not on lockdown. The municipality of Cainta in Rizal Province will also undergo community quarantine starting Sunday, March 15. Mayor Kit Nieto declares this after the municipality recorded 3 COVID-19 cases and 2 of the patients died Thursday, March 12. In Batangas Province, Governor Hermelando Mandanas confirms there are 2 confirmed cases Friday. He also suspends classes in all levels, public and private, in the province starting March 13 until March 31. As of Friday, the Philippines reported a total of 52 COVID-19 cases with 5 deaths. The Food and Drug Administration warns the public against buying home test kits for the novel coronavirus being sold online. Health Undersecretary and FDA Officer in Charge Eric Domingo says none of these products had been registered and tested by the regulatory agency.
Gusto lang namin paalam sa publiko na sa ngayon wala pang registered na testing kit, no, para dito sa COVID-19. So kung ano man binibenta dyan, makikita nilang mga advertisement o makikita nila online, ito po mga produkto ito unregistered.
The FDA chief says since the unregistered test kits are untested, the accuracy of their results are questionable. Currently, there are only 2 types of test kits in the Philippines approved by the FDA. The sophisticated machine at the Research Institute for Tropical Medicine, which takes 24 to 48 hours to confirm a 2019 nCoV case, and the new and much faster test kits developed by the University of the Philippines National Institute for Health. Domingo also clarifies the test kits developed by UP scientists will not yet be available for the public to buy by Monday, March 16. What will happen by then is just a field testing of the kits so the government can determine the validity of results. The RITM is the country's sole laboratory for now that can test samples for COVID-19. But the health department is targeting to get accreditation from the WHO for 4 other laboratories. MRT3 management conducts a dry run of social distancing on the train to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Several commuters complain of limited entry Friday morning, March 13. Limited number of passengers are allowed to enter the trains, but the lines at the entrance are still long. Meanwhile, Trade Secretary Ramon Lopez says informal sector workers should sell outside the capital region in the meantime.
I-encourage na lang natin silang either mag-register sila or dun sila sa lugar kung saan sila nanggagaling. Huwag na pumasok pumasok sa Metro Manila.
Lopez says this is to minimize movement in the capital region. He also says people who insist on buying more than 2 bottles of rubbing alcohol should be sent out of stores. 2 bottles is the limit during the COVID-19 outbreak. The Philippines declared a community quarantine, which in effect is similar to a lockdown, restricting land, air, and water travel from Metro Manila to any point of the country from March 15 to April 14. The wife of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau tests positive for the new coronavirus, his office says late Thursday, March 12. The Prime Minister is in good health with no symptoms but will still remain in isolation as a precautionary measure. In Brazil, the chief spokesman for the government also tests positive for the coronavirus. The communications chief met United States President Donald Trump last weekend in Florida with Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro. Trump in a statement says he is not concerned. Meanwhile, a Filipino diplomat at the Philippines' permanent mission to the United States tests positive for COVID-19, but the Foreign Affairs Department assures that necessary health and safety protocols are being implemented. This is the first known coronavirus case at the UN in New York. The World Health Organization says the coronavirus outbreak is a controllable pandemic if countries find and isolate as many cases as possible and quarantine their closest contacts. Meanwhile, South Korea, once the largest coronavirus outbreak site outside China, reports its lowest number of new cases for 3 weeks. China also reports its fewest new coronavirus cases on record, just 8 cases as reported with no new domestic infections outside Hubei province. In Singapore, Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong rules out a lockdown of the city-state Thursday, March 12.
What we are doing now is to plan ahead for some of these more stringent measures. Try them out and prepare Singaporeans for when we actually need to implement them. We will have to tighten up further, temporarily, though we cannot completely shut ourselves off from the world.
As of Friday, March 13, there are 133,900 confirmed cases and 4,900 deaths due to the novel coronavirus cases around the world. Geography challenged Mocha Uson places the town of La Trinidad in the city of Baguio. Uson was in Baguio on Tuesday, March 10. She met with an overseas Filipino worker from China as Deputy Administrator of the Overseas Workers Welfare Administration or OWA.
Dito po tayo sa La Trinidad, Baguio City. Ang La Trinidad, Baguio pa rin ba? Iba po.
Popular satire blog The Malacanang Events and Catering Services immediately excerpted the first several seconds of the video and garnered 770,000 views and 2,300 comments as it posted Uson's video titled Geography with Mocha 2.